We have the aim of this economic forum is to establish new bridges of cooperation and strengthen the existing ones. We seek to further strengthen cooperation government to government, business to business, and also to further advance communication government to business and the other way around. I trust the forthcoming speakers will fully convince you why you should invest in Kosovo. The step further we are making today and the others that will follow up are purported, and they surely will tighten our economic ties. I wish you a very successful day, a fruitful discussion, and I hope to see you all in Kosovo. Finally, make sure that the door of our embassy will always be open for all of you who will seek assistance, and that assistance we can afford. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you very much for your attention.
About Kosovo, you know, everyone in the country knows, of course, the name of Kosovo, but not so much about economic relationship, but because of the sad tragedy of the last decade, which is over, hopefully, and we really are glad that you come here with a big delegation for trade, for economic relationship, and that you can forget as soon as possible the sad past of your country. And we know from experience in many, many countries, but also in this country, economic growth, economic development, and entrepreneurship, which is the heart of economic growth, is the best guarantee for peace and development and a balanced country in the future. So we are very glad that you are today here. We don't know much about economic products and economic situation in your country. We know you are a young country. We know you have a relatively high education. So a lot of young people coming to the labor market, and a lot of possibilities for investors from outside Kosovo. This country has always been active in international investment. We're always one of the first countries trying to develop the relationship with new countries, coming up countries, developing countries, and are one of the biggest investors in the world, also in countries like yours. The economic situation of this country is not very good at this moment. We have so-called zero growth, a little bit of shrinking economy this year, a little bit growing next year. And of course you all know the reasons, the problems in Europe, the problems in Europe. And the problem for this country is that our export outside is almost 74% is inside the Eurozone, and it's too small in fact. Our exports outside the Eurozone. It's different with Germany. Germany is much stronger, especially in Asia of course, but also countries like yours, coming up countries, we are relatively weak. And we heard the figures, only 3 million export, import from your country, 80 million export, they are very low figures. Our organization is trying to, together with the Ministry of Economic Affairs, until today, till tomorrow, Agriculture and Innovation, but they will change their name, the next government. We try to develop much more, let's say, Dutch entrepreneurship in other countries, and to develop the strengths of the Netherlands in our export. We do it by the way of so-called top sectors, so 9 sectors where the Netherlands is extremely strong, and I think a lot of those sectors could be interesting for your country. So I really hope that this meeting will be the beginning of the serious relationship between the two countries. Our organization will do what's possible to support you, and you heard the name PUM, as the representative of PUM. I have the honor to be also the chairman of the PUM, and we will be very pleased to send more experienced retired managers to support you in the future. I wish you all the best with your country, and I wish you a very nice seminar, and I have to apologize that later on I have to leave. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ben. Good afternoon, everyone. Mirë dita gjithëve që keni ardhur nga Kosova. Ju faleminderit për këtë udhëtim dhe për përkrahje dhe shpresoj që të jetë një udhëtim I dobishëm për ju. I just thank all of the businesses that are here from Kosovo. I hope sincerely that this will be a very useful trip and useful experiences and exchanges with the businesses from Netherlands. I certainly would like to express my sincere appreciation to both ambassadors, Ambassador Rajeti, Ambassador Bosch, for their work, for their contribution to making this event helpful. I will challenge myself with pronouncing names in Netherlands. Our names are easy, yours are more difficult, of course. Depends on from which angle you're looking. Mr. Vintis, Mr. Smiths, and all others involved, sincerely great pleasure for us to be here today. As it was stated correctly, Kosovo was known in your part of the world for war, troubles, refugee crisis, and time after time for our former either politicians or fighters participating or being part of the Hague Tribunal. And even in Kosovo back, if we say we are in Hague, the name sounds or echoes politically or in relations to the tribunal. We sincerely are hoping to change the perception. We sincerely are hoping to change the experience and to actually give you enough grounds to see that Kosovo can be looked in another light, that Kosovo is valued much more, and to have Kosovo stronger and to have Kosovo reach its aspiration, we have to have it economically developed. We happen to have passed our budget today as well for 2013 in the government of Kosovo, and we have had the experience of having a more increased budget year in and year out. We have an average economic growth for the last 5 years of 5%, but again, looking at the low base of development that we had because of the war and because of everything what happened, we still need much greater increase of development and economic growth. We have managed to establish a very good fiscal system. Kosovo is with the lowest taxes in Europe, with only 10% corporate income tax and flat corporate income tax, and also personal income tax that ranges from 0% to maximum 10%, with the average personal income tax being less than 6%. Have a very liberal market system that enhances a small open economy by making Kosovo integrated, recognized partner in the region and great country to do business. In 2009, Kosovo has become a fully fledged member of the IMF and the World Bank, and hopefully, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that soon, we will also become a full member of the EBRD. We are a member and a signatory of CEFTA, Central European Free Trade Agreement. We are also beneficiary of GSP from the United States and Norway, and we've started for the first time as an independent Kosovo institution negotiating the free trade agreement with Turkey. Negotiations started last month, and we are hoping to conclude negotiations within next year, 2013. I appreciate the engagement of the Netherlands government so far, specifically on a program that is actually encouraging Dutch businesses to have a partner in Kosovo by supporting them with grant scheme. We fully are grateful for that and appreciate that. So far, sectors that have been really successful on food processing, metal processing, and IT, and we look forward to new ideas and new cooperation. Thank you very much and have a great day.
I'm glad to be here in front of a large group of hopefully potential investors and traders, because for many Dutch people, I think doing business with Kosovo is still very much uncharted territory. And this is unfortunate because Kosovo is a country with a lot of potential, and you've heard quite a lot about that already by the Deputy Prime Minister. First of all, obviously, because despite the rather sluggish growth that we see in the rest of Europe, Kosovo is growing at a pretty robust rate of 5%. And a large part of this growth, and I think that is important, can also be attributed to higher domestic consumption, which is a sign of a stable economy. Secondly, obviously, the wages in Kosovo are very competitive compared to the rest of Europe. And obviously also the location makes it very transport effective within Europe. And finally, it's not only the youngest state of Europe, and congratulations on the latest 2 recognitions, but it also has the youngest population of Europe. Now, before you think that I am employed by the Kosovo government, let me illustrate our cooperation with a couple of examples. I think the know-how of Dutch companies, combined with the great resources of Kosovo, have already created successful projects. And one fine example is the Agrico-Pestovo venture that uses Dutch expertise for growing potato seeds while using very fertile agricultural territory of Kosovo. And Agrico is of course only one example. There's other projects that have joined both Dutch expertise with Kosovo resources and local knowledge, leading to very successful ventures. Now, we, the Netherlands, are of course a country that has long enjoyed the benefits of international trade, and Mr. Rietjes already alluded to that. And we also realize, and this is very important, that trade is not a zero-sum game. It's the interest of both our countries to increase trade, and we therefore, of course, encourage and welcome all the steps taken by Kosovo to improve the conditions of doing business. Also, in, I think, a relatively short time, Kosovo has implemented initial and essential reforms towards establishing a functioning market economy. And furthermore, of course, there's a liberal trade regime, and overall we talk about a very open economy with limited trade barriers. Dutch business in Kosovo can be fostered and can really take off because both location, people, economic growth, the legislative framework, if you like, are in place. I'd like to wrap up with this. I hope that you will have a very fruitful forum. I hope that we will be able this afternoon and in the days to come to improve our common understanding, and most of all, of course, that this will make you enthusiastic to do business with and invest in the beautiful country of Kosovo. Thank you very much.